What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? Today's a little bit of an interesting day. I had a timer set for a video and it just got announced 5 hours ago. And that is ROSÉ with the song On the Ground. Now, I don't know why, but it seems like every member of Blackpink is slowly making their own soloist albums. I'm not really sure why, but it's anyway more interesting for me because it just means there's more videos for me to review. So let's not waste any more time and let's actually jump right into ROSÉ with On the Ground. I don't know what we're going to expect. I have never seen any of her productions before. I don't even think she has any other productions. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But for now, let's go straight into the video. Ooh. I don't know about you guys, but I really just don't like the font already that we see on the front. It looks very pixelated while everything in the back looks very sharp. I don't know what the correlation is there in all honesty, but why do this? Maybe there's going to be an explanation a little bit later, but for now, it's not my favorite. And there's a lot of CGI already from the start. Like you guys know, I'm not a real big fan of CGI. Also, what's with Blackpink and their latest videos? They really like cars and putting them on fire or crash cars. I don't know, maybe this is just their thing. Because someone put it in the comments below to see if there's some sort of reference to why they like doing these things. But I am happy that, sorry, I have to go back a little bit, that they went from CGI to real shots, a little bit of a slow shot, and now we're coming to some beauty shots itself. Really nice, actually. Oh no. I can already notice one thing, and this is not against ROSÉ. ROSÉ, I'm sorry, but lip syncing, whoever did the editing of your lip sync didn't do a good job. It's something I'm really strict about lately, but if it's from the first second that you see that it's this off, it's just no fun to actually listen to your, or watch your video actually, because I think the lip sync, like if you're pretending to sing in a video, it should at least match the vocals that you see. I do like the filter, a little bit of an 80s filter. The color palettes fit beautifully with her name. ROSÉ, the pinks, the blues, the yellows, they're all in the same color palette. And they keep continuing all of this. I'm not really sure if I really enjoy this set, because if you listen to the words, it seems like she's reflecting her own life. Whether this is true or not, I'm not really sure, but they made an entire scene here which matches up to basically for this song. You know, they made this and all the props, all these extras to match the vocals or whatever they're trying to recreate here. But I think this would have been a little bit more stronger if they actually showed parts of her in her past, like real footage of, for example, in concerts or anything like that, because that's the vibe that I'm getting, that if you listen to the words a little bit, it would have been a little bit nicer. Maybe this is like one of those scenes that has happened in the past, or maybe they filmed this on purpose for just this video, but maybe just don't show the background. It's a little bit too intense and I don't really, or I cannot really focus on her as a subject here. She looks like a ghost. This is really nice though. I'm a real fan of black and white shots and this is really beautiful. I love it when there is small contrast of black, the skin tones are still visible and the white background. Mwah, beautiful. Really, it's a little bit of an interesting thing because the editing here is very simple actually. It's nothing more than overlaying two videos on top of each other and then really slow cuts, like real simple cuts. Nothing is too complicated. But one thing I do notice is that a lot of these shots are very basic, like a little bit too basic, and even though the backgrounds are exploding a lot, it doesn't really add a lot of dynamics to the video. I would have gone a little bit more into the fire, into the elements itself. Yeah, for example, here, it wasn't really sure what they were going for here. You can kind of see the camera focusing on her being in the middle here. Oh, sorry. So it kind of went in front of it, tried to follow her. Then it goes back again. And then it tries to correct itself again. Like, was this on a gimbal where they tracked her? I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, but that seems like an error to me. And then you see it following it again. This is something that my gimbal does as well, so not really sure what happened here. Ooh, what is with these productions though? Because again, this is like what, 15 frames per second slow motion? Did they film this in the wrong frame rate? And it causes this really eerie effect. I'm not really sure if this was done on purpose. I would have maybe just filmed it in 60 frames per second and then slow it down and not make it look a little bit stuttery like we see right here, because this does not look very smooth in my opinion. I would have maybe just left it as smooth as possible, but slowed down still. But you can kind of see that the intention really went into the set itself rather than the filming. At least that's what I get from now. Again, I don't get these stutter effects, and there doesn't have to be a reason to why I don't like it or why I do like it, but for me it doesn't add anything to the video. It doesn't seem like she's confused or, you know, in a fight with herself or anything. It doesn't add anything to it. I would have just kept them in slow motion, but keep them clean. Keep them at 30 frames per second or 25 or 24 frames per second, how this video was ever made. But keep it in slow motion rather than this stuttering effect. For me, it just looks like my computer was failing. I don't know why, but it's a little bit too much. One scene, two scenes. I think there were 3 scenes in total, but I would have changed that around a little bit. Like, to be honest, if they focused on more shots like this, where she's singing, I think this is something that they should have focused on a little bit more, like these kind of beauty shots with her actually singing, rather than her walking pointlessly around this set. Because to me, it just looks too much like a set, and it looks too much forced in one area. Roses are dead, love is fake. Well, that's a very bad climax to a video. That was actually cool though. Like, was that a real effect? Okay, this is for sure CGI, you know, put into her, but they did a fantastic job on tracking her out of these the elements of the smoke, because she doesn't have smoke on top of her. If you're an amateur, you would have left the smoke basically blended on top of her and forgot to mask her up, but they did a very clean job here. And then they executed a bomb or an explosion within the car, and it's okay. Like, the car was already destroyed previously, so I'm happy that they actually reused the car again. Saves money, you know, but you can kind of see that it was already... It wasn't a good car from the start, it was already broken. I like what they did with the floor here. I think this is all green screen and she's just swinging on a green screen, which is fine. I think that they did a fantastic job though. The colors look good. I kind of just wish they focused a little bit more, you know, this is not about me liking choreography as much, but I am kind of missing that point where, is she even going to sing in the song? Because we only got very little hints of her lips moving, and I wonder what happened there, because at the beginning the lip sync was, in all honesty, was just terrible. And that's done in production, of course. That's not Rose's fault. That is literally done in production where they failed. But why is there so little of her actually performing? Because it just seems like we're looking at this character running around the stage. Not really sure what that is supposed to do, but it feels very, very clustered all in one area. Like, these shots are great. I like the colors, I love the sets itself, but it's a lot of repetition. A lot of repetition. That's a little bit of a weird cut, to be honest. Like, why would you... sorry, but here you see her elevate, and whether this looks good or not, why is the next scene of her basically being down in the flowers again? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why not just keep on elevating to the story? Because in the brain, if we go back to that one shot, your brain is preparing for her to take off somewhere, to move upwards. So you're already following with the eyes up. But when you continue watching it, she's back down again. It doesn't really, it's not a very clean sequence in all honesty. And it seems like this maybe should have been at the start, and that other scene should have been here to kind of get this flow of movement going. Not really sure what they went with here. That was a little bit... And now we see her floating again. It just seems like they filmed everything, but they weren't really sure how to puzzle it together. Like, I always think when you film something, it should kind of have a flow and follow each other beautifully. While here, it just seems like she floats, she's back on the floor, we get some beauty shots, and then she floats again. I would have done the beauty shots maybe first, her within the flowers, and then slowly her taking off to follow a bit of a sequence. But they didn't do that here at all. They just kind of randomly put scenes together. I don't get it. And again, now she's on the floor again. A really weird video, in my opinion. So that was Rose and On the Ground. And guys, I'm a little bit confused about the video. And whether you like Blackpink or Rose, it doesn't really matter, because to me this is a really confusedly edited together video. It just seems like they had a lot of budget to make this look as good as possible and as amazing as possible. You know, we have fireworks, we have explosions, we have cars exploding. Everything is there, but the thing is, nothing really matches nicely together. Like, when you look at the first scene, for example, you have this meteoroid falling down. I thought the world is going to be destroyed or something, but then all it does is basically hits a car. Like, what is the build up there? It's very anticlimactic. What is it? Anticlimactic? Anticlimactic. That's the word. And it doesn't really add any more value to the video. It seems very lost just, and I'm not really sure what they were going with here. And it's a bit of a shame. I mean, if I have to give this video a score, I'm really just going to give it a 6 out of 10. And it's not really in particular a good video. If it was me and I have to listen to the music first, I would just said, look, it's a little bit of an emotional song. She's talking about her emotions and how things are occurring to her. That's great. Why not just focus on her as an individual instead of all those amazing backdrops? And I think this was just a bit of a missed point, that they focused too much on the extras, aka the back scenes, rather than actually how to film it, how to capture emotion, because it seems a little bit emotionless and it seems very forced. And it doesn't seem like there was a good idea behind it. And the only reason why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 is purely because they did a good job with the scenes itself. Like, everything looks beautiful. They did a fantastic job with the color palettes. The filming is a little bit, hit and miss. I'm not sure if they are done in gimbals, but the tracking wasn't done good either, in all honesty. You can see the camera was going a little bit too fast and it tried to correct itself, and then it was trying to calculate the way Rose was supposed to be running. But I could see that, and I'm not sure if I would have gone with it myself. But what do you think of Rose and Back on the Ground? Tell me in the comments below. I'm curious to know what you think of the video. And for now, guys, thank you very much for your time. And if you did enjoy the video, then please make sure you like the video, make sure you're subscribed, and of course, I'll see you on the next K-pop video review. Woohoo! Catch you then, guys.